Red flag warning. For those who live in areas prone to wildfire, these three words used together can cause unease, if not anxiety. But a red flag warning isn't like a smoke alarm going off. It's more like a road sign that warns you of hazards when certain conditions exist.
It doesn't mean to panic. Just like any of these other warning systems, it means to be ready. It's not a panic. We don't want people calling 911. We want you to be ready.
What a red flag warning does mean is that critical fire weather conditions are either occurring now or will shortly. Those conditions include three main criteria: relative humidity, temperature, and wind.
Currently, the red flag is 15% relative humidity with the wind speed up to 25 to 35 miles an hour. There's another criteria of relative humidity at 10%, winds blowing 15 to 25, and it's sustained through 6 hours.
Red flag warnings aren't determined by any one agency or entity, but rather are the result of a collaborative discussion between the National Weather Service, federal and state fire agencies, and local fire departments.
It isn't something we do casually. It isn't something we do without a lot of forethought, because we're going to be asking people to be changing some behaviors. We're going to be restricting some areas.
We all work together and collectively are talking, collecting data, weather data, for example, fuels data. That all kind of goes into this system.
Analysis of weather and vegetation conditions is so important to the system that two programs were created to collect and analyze the data and then disseminate the results: the National Weather Service Fire Weather Forecasters and the aptly named Predictive Services.
Predictive Services is an office down in South Ops that we use on a regular basis. They do a number of modeling things versus weather, fuels and dryness, atmospheric stuff, and basically they're setting it up to tell us what kind of conditions we can expect so that we can staff properly.
That data is unique to particular areas, so red flag warnings can be made for specific zones. The county is divided into 5 zones, with Santa Barbara being in the South Coast Zone.
National Weather Service has defined these zones. They have all varying climatic conditions within these zones. When we go into a red flag, we might be in a red flag warning in Santa Barbara County front country, but we would not be in a red flag for the North County, for example.
Once the decision to initiate a red flag warning is made, a succession of actions are taken, starting with the placement of red flags at all fire stations.
For Santa Barbara City, we actually set out signs at 5 key locations within the city that's saying we're in a red flag warning. We also look at upstaffing. Other agencies do this also. We look at upstaffing. We essentially do red flag patrols. We have 2 of our patrol trucks that we would potentially staff and have them go out, check weather, check the weather conditions, make sure people aren't doing things that they shouldn't be doing that have the potential to start a fire.
Those things include any actions that have the potential to start a fire, such as mowing, weed whipping, using mechanical equipment, or welding. In addition to informing the public via all media outlets, Facebook and Twitter, homeowners associations in the affected areas are also notified.
They have phone trees where they'll actually, call people within their neighborhood and say, we're in a red flag, just giving you kind of a heads up. So there's an awareness of the situation that's going on around you.
And since access is critical in the event of a fire, parking along roads in the high fire areas is also monitored during a red flag warning. In Mission Canyon, parking restrictions are initiated during a red flag warning.
And then we start the process of a 24-hour, we're going to tow people if they're in the red flag streets that we have. And we work closely with the agencies such as the Sheriff's Department, CHP, to potentially tow your vehicle if you're in that area after 24 hours.
With such a long history of wildfires, fire officials point out it's a matter of when, not if, the next one will strike. In light of that, they have compiled an easy-to-understand resource to help citizens prepare themselves.
Well, one of the things that we've worked on in Southern California is the Ready, Set, Go program, and basically be prepared as a homeowner, listen to the radio, listen to all the media that's going out, and that's the ready part. get set, get everything in your car, things that you need, medication, clothes, anything of importance, records. And then when we say it's time to go and evacuate, just leave your area.
Fire officials stress the red flag warning is evolving and that they are constantly striving to improve it.
Just like we learn things every time that we go through a fire together. And so as we learn things, hopefully our ability to communicate what we're learning to the public gets better, and our ability to work with each other gets better each time.
So the next time you see a red flag warning, know that a lot of time, technology, and cooperative effort went into it, and you should take it seriously. Wildfires are inevitable in our area, so too should be our preparedness to safely respond to them.